Is this where you come from? This civilization of men and all other manner of races by the looks of things. This is where you hail? No? I see. Interesting. When I said I would come down to the town with you, I wasn't expecting such a large variety of different species, different races, from all manner of this plane of existence. Tell me, if you have such a large variety of different peoples here, why is it that you hunt the dragon? I mean, surely, if you can coexist with such other creatures, then a dragon of intellect, compassion, emotional value would surely be one to be welcomed, would they not? Ah, of course. The dragon is a beast, as you keep saying. It's a fascinating argument, to say the least. And yet, one you keep repeating. Is it that I am purely not listening, or is it the fact that you're trying to convince yourself? An interesting look that crosses your eyes. No, I am not insinuating anything. I wouldn't dare. And yet, here we are, in this den of civilization. Were you planning on gathering more troops? Or merely wanted a bit of a break from the old stalking of the beast? I see. Always on the job. Of course. What then? Gather more adventurers. Indulge yourself in some actual good cooked food. Then head back up the mountain to what? An empty cave full of treasure. Do you think the dragon will return? I mean, if they don't, then you're going to be looking at paying a lot of extra people, presumably out of your own pocket. You would take the dragon's hoard. That is bold, to say the least. It's one thing to lay in wait, set a trap, but to take what is not yours. Interesting philosophy. The idea that the dragon would take what was not theirs. And what is it that creates ownership? The winning of battle. The winning of a gamble paid off. The spoils of war. Taking what is owed to you from others who owe. simply taking the treasure from an empty cave. No. I would simply be interested to know what the beast thinks of you taking their stuff, their treasure, their shiny little trinkets. It's an interesting concept, and one that I would be quite fascinated to behold. Oh, don't get me wrong, I like you, friend. You are interesting, entertaining, and certainly keep the boredom at bay, but between you and the dragon that I know, I'd be surprised if you came out still breathing. Don't look so shocked. At the end of the day, you may be a skilled adventurer, but you have not slain a dragon. And we have discussed this. Those were wyverns. The dragon is a much more tricksome beast. Intelligent, smart, charismatic, has their wits about them, able to think on their feet, analyze at astronomical speeds, and execute plans within plans. Hell, for all you know, they could well be shapeshifters as well. How do you know that any of these people out here are not that which you seek? Yes, I jest. There's no need to look quite so serious. It would be quite the feat to have a creature of that size whittle themselves down into the state of these people. Fascinating indeed. It has been some time since I have been amongst civilization. You'll have to excuse my wonder. Many things have changed since I was last here. Well, among people. Humans and others alike. What interesting smells they have. I think the last time that I was down amongst this particular city, it was but a town. Really? That long? Perhaps I am thinking of somewhere else then. If this city has been here for centuries, then I must have got my places confused. These sort of landscapes all look the same, don't they? Yes. An intriguing endeavor. The way that humans grow the way they do. Most species travel place to place. Humans do not. To be fair, most intelligent, intellectual species have a tendency to find a place they call their own and burrow deep. Sink their roots into the land and hold fast. What a price that must pay. Dragons? Well, they travel. After all, as you are a dragon hunter, you should probably know they don't stay to one area. Partly because they are hunted by such as you. The fear of their kind runs deep, and it doesn't seem to change no matter how many generations pass. That fear, potentially genetic, potentially something else. One could even call it prejudice. But whatever the cause, it is hard for a dragon to stay in one place for too long without stirring up animosity. The horse? Oh, you take it with them, of course. And that is where some dragons really struggle. Because when the horde gets to a certain size, they cannot dare to abandon it. As a result, they are stuck in their place. And then hunters like you come. And it doesn't matter how much time passes, how much death is created. The dragon cannot let go of its horde, and the hunters cannot help but hunt it. How many lives do you think have died at the hands of the dragon? And how many lives do you think could have been saved if only people had left them be? Which is where we get to the more interesting of the philosophical questions. Which is to say, is it the dragon that poses a threat? Or is it the greed of mortals that cannot bear to have a creature such as that hoard so much wealth? What is wealth? Is it the gold and the silver and the copper? The jewels, the crowns, the trinkets and ornaments? Is it anything that's shiny? Who is it that dictates a diamond is worth what it is? Who is it that dictates that gold is more valuable than copper? And when a person is in desperate situations, does the treasure have any worth at all? How many rich noblemen have offered up all of their wealth in order to have one more day of existence? Life. So very, very expensive for some, and so very cheap for others. Same can be said for dragons, though. After all, the desire to have a bed of gold is in their very nature. They yearn for it. Some even say that gold flows in the blood of dragons, and it calls to them in ways that only mystics could understand. What of you? Do you do this job for the gold, the money, the thrill of the hunt? What is it that drives you, hunter? Huh. Of course. What an interesting response. And is it worth it? Is it worth putting your life on the line for such things? Is it worth coming face to face with death? Putting magical, mystical creatures to the slaughter? To the point where there are but few of them left on this plane? What happens when you run out of things to hunt? That is naive. The more that you hunt without understanding, the closer that a species gets to oblivion. Do you even know how many dragons are left? Do you know their feeding habits, their sleeping habits, their mating habits? Do you know what drives them? And how difficult it is for them to continue? What little you know, and yet how little you care. You must care little if you think with all naivete that there will always be more to hunt. The most destructive predator in the entire cosmos is that of mortals. And yet, there is something beautiful about you as well. Perhaps it is the fragility of mortality. That knowledge that you will eventually die that makes you grasp it so close. Makes your love so passionate and your cruelty so desperate. What a varied species you all are. No common traits among you, other than the fact that you live and die. Huh. Anyway, enough of my ramblings. You have places to be, I'm sure. I'm fascinated by this market. This was part 3 of Treasure and Desire. Read by Eric Vaux.